Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar. For those who are new, I'm Shala. I'm the Content Marketing Manager here at Vidigami. And just a quick background for any new advisors we have with us today. In 2017, Vidigami teamed up with Picaboo Yearbooks to offer schools a great way to collaboratively manage, store, and use all the photos and videos in a private and secure way. With all the awesome new features we've released in Creator Studio, the book builder, you can build not only the yearbooks we all know and love, but all kinds of incredible publications and content like team books, club books, and more. But we all know the yearbook is a huge project that takes time, that takes planning, and lots of team effort to produce. So this is what this first series is all about. So I'm here today with Nicole from the yearbook team, Nicole Hammond. Some of you who have worked with her before with the editor before might know her already. She's been in the team for more than 5 years now, supporting advisors as a client success specialist. And now she's taking the lead as professional development trainer, sharing her wisdom with us on how to build amazing books. She's actually had over 20 years of experience working in this industry. She's taught English and journalism, and she's even advised an award-winning yearbook at her school. Over the years, she's consulted for other yearbook providers and led a number of workshops and conferences in the country. So I'm super excited to have her. With that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Nicole, and give us a recap of last month's episode 8.
All right, thank you, Shala. Yes, last month we talked about after you've received your invoice and after you are finished taking orders, submitting your orders into production, requesting your invoice. If you have not already done that, if you still need to do that, please go ahead and go back to episode 8, the link here. We'll talk about ordering, whether you've taken all of your orders at school or you took them all through the storefront. It will explore both of those options for you. So we're starting today, assuming that your book is finished and you have placed your order, and now here we are in the in-between. What should we be doing? You have approximately 3 weeks to wait between the time you submit your order to us and the time UPS delivers those books to you. And so whether you are teaching a yearbook class or you are doing this on your own, there are plenty of things you can be doing in the interim. One of those is to brainstorm ideas for your next book and get that started. I know we kind of tend to just sit back and think, all right, I'm finished with it for this year. I'm going to put that out of my head until next year. But especially if you have a staff or if you have a committee, it's a great time to sit down and think about what direction you want to take for next year. Magazines are a great place to start. You can brainstorm with things like Time, Newsweek, People for theme ideas, and architectural magazines are awesome for brainstorming layouts and planning the design of your book for next year. Complete an evaluation of the yearbook process, even if it's just you and you did this all by yourself. What worked? What didn't? What should you implement for next year? If you have a staff, allow them to answer these questions anonymously and submit them to you. Maybe you create a Quizlet or a Google Doc that they can submit to you anonymously. If you have a staff of parent volunteers, send them the same thing and let them respond anonymously. And if it's just you, take the time to really think about the way you want it to look next year. And maybe what you want to implement for next year is recruiting some other people to help you. What about your space? Maybe you have a yearbook classroom. I was lucky enough to have one of those, and it's awesome, but it's also a place where everything gets dumped. So at the end of the year, clean out that classroom, clean out the office you were using, clean out just the little cubby hole that you were given in the corner of a classroom where people just stuck paper that they didn't know what to do with, and now you want to clean it out so you're ready and on track for next year. Did you have profit that you didn't need to use to pay for books and you're going to be receiving a check? What should your staff do with that? Subsidize next year's book? Maybe buy a camera to use or a laptop? Yard signs for people to put in their yards or to put in parent drop-off to advertise the book for next year? Or maybe you all just need to set up a taco bar as a celebration that this is all finished. Whatever it is, sit down and decide on it. And then the last thing, recruit. Recruit for next year. If you are a parent volunteer, start talking to other parents and getting them on board. I will tell you that when I decided to take on my son's elementary school book, I went to 4 friends that I knew had kids, not just in my grade, in my son's grade, but in other grades. And I said, I'm going to teach you how to use the software and you are going to be my staff. And because they were friends, they said, okay. When I was a yearbook teacher, I went to the English teachers and said, who are your recommendations? Not just who are the good writers, but who are the responsible kids? Who are the ones that you would allow to roam the hallways during class and know that they would focus on the work that they need to do? If you're lucky enough to be working with a student staff, once you get those recommendations, have a questionnaire for the kids to fill out, and you might even ask them to write a few paragraphs so you can see not just what their writing style is, but see who's going to go through with it and put in the work. Because if they're going to put in the work on the questionnaire and the recruiting sheet, you can pretty much assume that they're going to put in the work next year to help you with the book. And then let's plan our distribution. Do you hand them out to the homeroom teachers and ask them to pass the books out to their kids? Do you set up tables in the cafeteria and have the students come in alphabetically and get their books? Or do you look at the distribution as an opportunity to generate and increase sales for next year? I know, that sounds crazy, but think about it. If you could create some type of exciting way to distribute the book, then you have the captive audience of your entire school. It is your biggest advertising opportunity of the year because it is the one time that the entire student body will be focused on the yearbook. And they're thinking either, wow, I can't wait to go through my book, or they're thinking, man, I wish I had gotten a book this year. Doesn't have to be elaborate, doesn't have to be a big deal, just some way to generate excitement and create a purpose for them coming together to sign their books. It also doesn't have to be expensive. Those same businesses that we talked about putting ads in your book because they like giving to their local community will also donate snacks, games, markers, whatever it is you need. And most of the times they'll be happy to do it. So, excuse me, let's start with, what are your best ideas? What are the things you've done to distribute the book? Do you have ideas or ways that you have thrown a party when your yearbook comes in? Shala will take a minute.
Awesome. Remember, folks, you can use the questions bar just to pop in your comments as well. Nicole, I guess you can go ahead and keep going, and I'll keep a lookout for any answers that come through, and we can take a look at them in the next break.
Okay. I'll take a minute just to tell you what I did when I was a yearbook advisor. I was a high school yearbook advisor, and we gave our book out in the fall. We gave it out at homecoming. But I was also the varsity cheerleading coach, and they had always handed the book out at the homecoming game. That was the very worst time for me to have to try to give out a yearbook because I was focused on my cheerleaders and the game. So we created the homecoming carnival. And after the homecoming pep rally, the student body spilled out into the front lawn of our school. And I used it not just as a yearbook signing party, but it became our biggest fundraiser. The cheerleaders actually sold food at the barbecue. We had donated hamburgers and hot dogs and buns and chips and sodas from a local butcher and a local grocery store. And then we allowed each of the clubs, if they wanted to rent space on that front lawn and to run their own games that would allow them profit. The yearbook sold tickets that could be used to play any of the games. We had a ton of inflatables, like the inflatable slides. We had the inflatable jousting. The student council ran a dunking booth, and we put our principal and our vice principal in it, and kids could use their tickets to try and dunk them. There was face painting, and other kinds of booths. We could have 20 or 30 booths going, and we earned the money from the space rental. Each of the school clubs earned money from the tickets that the kids spent. And in the middle of all of this, we were distributing the yearbook and everybody was signing it. So let's look at a few ideas for what you can do. And this can be small scale or it can be elaborate. It's really up to what you need. So if you are using our carnival theme, work with your PTO or local rental companies to get popcorn and cotton candy machines and maybe inflatables if you're feeling bold. Maybe you can't do that, so you talk to the gym teacher, have him or her create fun game stations that they can play. Ask the art teacher to create spin art or a tie-dyeing station. And the kids can be involved in those things while they're getting their books and signing them. Maybe you did the building blocks theme. You can buy the building blocks candies in bulk on Amazon and hand out little bags of those to the kids. You can ask families to donate used blocks, set up building stations. Maybe you hold contests for the tallest or the strongest or whatever it is you can come up with. Kids will love participating in that. And when they're not at a station setting up and creating with the blocks, they're looking through their books and signing each other's. We have 2 drawing themes in our Picaboo bag of tricks. So maybe if you've chosen our watercolor or our doodle, you can have small Sharpie packs available with each book. Depending on the age group, probably not a good idea to give kindergartners Sharpies. Maybe crayons or colored pencils. Let them color in the doodles or use those to sign the books. Get permission to create a mural for the school. You can get painter's cloth, super cheap, hang it up or tape it down to the floor, give the kids turns to draw doodles or sign their names, or even use watercolors and allow them to color abstractly on it, and then maybe add character words. And then hang it somewhere in the school that everybody can see it. It'll be a reminder of the fun that they had, but it'll also be a reminder of the yearbook from the previous year. Or maybe you download the cover template from our downloads page and make a bunch of copies and have pencils and crayons at tables and let the kids design a cover for 2020. And then let them vote on the winners. If you want to, set up jars near each of the cover designs and let them drop in their pennies as their vote. And then either use that to help offset the cost of the yearbook, or maybe use that as a school and decide where to donate the money. Oops, I went too far. There we go. Last but not least, this is one of my favorites. This is our social media theme for the year. Set up a photo booth. It's really easy to do. It just requires some big sheets of paper and some props, and you can design and print your own and attach them to dowels, maybe some bubbles, and in it says, I'm in, like I'm in the book, or our, hashtag our story. Create a hashtag unique to your school, strictly for this distribution party purpose, and tell everyone to use it when they share their images on Instagram or Snapchat. And then ask them to post the photo booth images and offer prizes, maybe a $5 Starbucks card, or if it's a high school, maybe a $5 gas card, or 10, I don't know if $5 will get you any gas. And offer prizes for the funniest picture, the craziest, or the one that crammed the most students into one image. Whatever you and your staff can come up with, it will be a lot of fun for them. Once you've designed your distribution party, or you know how you're going to distribute, and maybe this year it's a little too late for you to come up with a party idea, so you're going to distribute to homeroom or in the cafeteria, and that's okay too. You're going to need your distribution report. When your yearbooks come, they will come with a packing list, but that is not a distribution report. If you collected all of your orders at school, hopefully you have created your own spreadsheet that you can use for distribution purposes. If you created an online storefront, then we've done this for you. You're going to log in and open your storefront, and the blue hyperlink that says View Report will bring up this transaction report. You can download that as an Excel spreadsheet or as a CSV file, and then you can sort it. You can hide or delete rows or columns that you don't need. You can add your own in-school orders directly to that report so that you have one report to use for distribution, and then print it out and use that as your distribution report. When your books arrive, I said there will be a packing list in there. Open up the boxes, find that packing list, take it out, and hold on to it. But that manifest, again, is not a distribution report. Open all of the boxes, even if you are a week away from distributing the books. Open all of the boxes. Take the books out, count them, make sure you have the right number of books, and that the number in the boxes not only agrees with the manifest, but it agrees with the number of books that you ordered. And then inspect the books for any defects. We do not anticipate that your books will have defects, but we want to know sooner rather than later. If you, maybe in shipping, one of the softcover books got crumpled and you need to replace it. If we're a week and a half from distribution, we might be able to get that one book to you. If there's a problem with any of the books, you're going to want to let us know, but you have to inspect them first. And it's so much better to do that before they're handed out. If for any reason you find a defect, if your books are not delivered to you correctly and beautifully printed and bound, then you need to let us know right away. So in order to do that, we have these steps for you to take. Take pictures. If you find a print issue or a page that's falling out or that wrinkled cover, take a picture immediately, or several pictures if you need to. Email the images and the issue to your CSS. Please, when you send that email, include your account email address, not just your personal email address, but the one that we use to get into your project, any relevant page numbers, and the order number. We want all of that information so that we can gather everything and look it all up before we get back to you. That really, really is the first thing we need. Once you have sent that information to us, and we've dealt with it. If a parent comes to you and says they didn't get their ordered book, first check the store report to see if they ordered. And if they did and they don't have the book, then you send the order number to the CSS and we will take care of it. We don't want you to have to be the go-between. You say, oh, so-and-so did not get their book, and then we have to come back to you and ask for the order number or the parent email or anything like that. It's best that you just send the contact information to the parent and let them take care of it if you have no record of the order. If you have record of the order, go ahead and email the CSS, but give the parents information to us so that we can get in contact with them. And again, if they say they ordered, but you have no record of it, have them come directly to us and we'll be happy to take care of them. And the contact information for parents is right here. So now I'm going to send it back to Shala because she has an exciting announcement to make.
Awesome. So this is kind of the moment that we've been waiting for from the beginning of the series, actually. I'm really, really excited. First of all, I just want to thank all the advisors who were so diligent in attending all of our webinars, or at least most of our webinars, and also following up with us with the featured question. For those of you who have been with us from the very beginning, what we did was launch this fun getaway drawing for all advisors who responded to the featured question, who were entered into the drawing. And today we're going to be announcing the winner. So the winner gets to choose between one of 3 destinations, Mexico, USA, and beyond. Pearl, congratulations.
Yay, Pearl, thank you.
So exciting. Thank you so much for responding to all of our featured questions. What we're going to be doing next is follow up with you with those options, and you can pick which one you like best, and then we'll forward over the details for what needs to be done next. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much. And for all other advisors, please keep in mind that in the future we do have a lot of other cool things planned for you. So keep answering our featured questions. There's lots of great stuff there. There's lots of opportunities to share your feedback with us and participate in more exciting draws like this one. So thanks so much for being part of PYBU. What we're going to be doing next is this session, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be recorded. And then instead of having another follow-up question tomorrow, what we're going to do is include that as part of our newsletter for May, which is going to be going out next week. So stay tuned for that. And just a quick note that we will be resuming PYBU for 2019-2020 school year in August with some new content there. I think it's been really great hearing all of your feedback and understanding what topics are really great and what we can do to kind of build out a more comprehensive curriculum to guide you through the school year as you build out your yearbook. Nicole and I were just talking about that earlier today, and we have lots of interesting things, new things planned.
Yes.
Awesome. Again, thanks everyone for taking the time out of your busy day just to sit with us and learn from us. And I think another huge applause for Nicole, you as well, for just being an amazing guide for all of us, just to learn how to navigate the tricky road that is building your yearbook and all the things that you need to know to build a yearbook the best way you can. So thanks so much.
It's been awesome. Can't wait to see what next year brings.
So excited. Thanks so much, Nicole. Is there anything else we need to cover before we wrap up today?
I just do want to mention, I know you've probably all seen it, but one of the things that people have asked about for years is custom name stamping on the front of books, and we have rolled that out. You will notice if you are an advisor still using Flash this year, it is not there, but next year when you use the Creator Studio to create your books, you will notice it. It is an option available for your schools now. This is in addition to personalization. You can still offer personalization, but we now also offer custom name stamping in a gold or silver foil. So I'm sure you've already seen that in the storefronts, but if you have any questions about it, contact your CSS and we'll be able to help you out with that.
Perfect. For anything else, if there's any other questions, you can always reach out to your CSS if you have anything specific that you'd like to know about. And with that, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thanks everyone so much and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you all.